In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Google Images to search for pictures, as well as different ways to limit your search. So in Google Images, you want to use the same typical search queries that you've been using through the rest of the course. We still want to put in main keywords. If you want to, you can put site:/edu or site:/gov, although that's not as important here. And you can still use phrase searching if you need to keep a phrase together. I'm going to be really simple right now, and I am going to search for sloths. So I'm going to type sloths in the search box and click the search image. So lots of pictures of sloths. So first I'm going to take a look at what we can tell from these different search results. As you hover over a image, the resolution is going to show up in a little kind of pop-up in the bottom left of the image. So in this case, we can see that it's 1000 by 600. A bigger image means that it is better quality. You can use a bigger version yourself, and you can make it be as big as up to 1000 without it starting to lose its quality. Sometimes you'll find images that are really, really small and you can't really make them bigger without them becoming very pixelated and hard to see. When you click it, Google Images is going to pop up in the right information about where it's from. So right here we can see that it is from the World Wildlife Fund, and the page that it's on is called Why Are Sloths Slow and 6 Other Sloth Facts. If you click that World Wildlife Fund, it will take you to the page that holds that image. As you keep scrolling, it's going to keep the last thing that you clicked on the right so that you don't have to lose that. And as you click different images, that's going to replace the stuff on the side. Now, let's say that you want to limit a little bit to what you find. So we have settings and tools here above all of the results, but below the search box. Under settings, you are able to go into advanced search if you want to put a little bit more information in. But tools is really kind of the best options right now because you can limit to different types of images. First, one of the more important ones might be size. You might decide that you want a large image, so you can change to large images only. And you can see that these are now 1400 by 933, 1536 by 2048, 1200 by 800, so much bigger than some of the smaller ones. You may also choose that you would like a black and white picture, and so you can limit there to black and white. The other most important thing in this class is going to be the usage rights. So we discussed that just because you find an image online does not mean that you're allowed to use it wherever you want. And so you can limit under usage rights to try to find things that you are able to use but might need attribution. So the default is not filtered by license. And that means anything that you find with just a regular Google Images search, you can't be sure if you can use it or not. These other options are all ways to kind of limit to things with different licenses, but keep in mind it's not always 100%. So the first option is labeled for reuse with modification, which means that you can reuse it and you can change it if you'd like. There's a just labeled for reuse, which is where you can reuse it, but you can't do anything else. There's things that are specifically non-commercial reuse, which means you can't use it to make money. So if you have your own website where you're selling something, you can't use this picture of a sloth as part of your logo. And they have those two options about whether you can modify it or not. Sometimes you might have to play around with these if you don't really need it for commercial reuse. So sometimes I might just click labeled for reuse, see what comes up. I might get some different things if I click labeled for use with modification. Sometimes it'll be similar as well. Now, even though we have limited to things that are labeled for reuse, we still need to verify. You cannot say, hey, I did this, great, I can use it. There's most Creative Commons licenses, even though they do allow you to reuse it, they're going to require you to attribute it, or they might have other things on it. So you have to always 100% be able to tell what the license is. The only exception are typically images that are on .gov or .mil sites. Those are government images, and you can typically reuse them because they're typically considered to be in the public domain. Everything else, though, you need to find the license. So I'm going to look at this one here, the cutesloth.jpg on Wikimedia Commons. When I click it, it takes me to the page that the cute sloth is on. The license right here says that it's part of the Creative Commons 0, which means it is public domain. I do not have to give credit. I can use this for whatever I want. I can reuse it, I can modify it, I can use it on a commercial site. There are no limits. However, if I would like to give attribution to Epic Awesome Wolf, who is the author, I may do so. There's no rule that says that you can't give credit if you want to. It's just you don't have to.